Wait, and BC's back. There we go. All right.
Yeah.
Man, I figured we better start because we were running a little bit behind.
Oh yeah. Well, a quick restart sometimes fixes all the issues.
Yeah,
I mean, it sure
amen
does.
to that. Amen to that. Welcome everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to Hodl the Line. Ada Ace, welcome to Hodl the Line. Appreciate you being here today.
Oh, I'm doing all right. Give me 1 second, man.
Oh, all right. No worries. No worries. Listen, everybody, Badel said he may not make it tonight. As you know, we got that heat wave going around the country. He's got some things going on with regard to work and that. So hopefully he's good. And if he makes it, we'll jump him in here at the middle of the stream. You know the drill, man. You know the drill. Like this thing. Share this thing. Appreciate it. Share this out everywhere. We'll go give a quick shout out to the chat, BC, if that works for you while Ada gets his stuff together.
I'm good. I'm back now.
Oh, you're back now?
Wanted to interrupt me as soon as I said, okay, I'm going live, guys. And he walked over and wanted to ask a question after I said that. So, it is what it is, bro. It's the life of children, man.
That's always how it goes. Yes, I do understand. How many kids you got?
I have 3 kids. I have one that's an adult, actually, now. Just turned 18 a month ago, whatnot. Nice. So, and then I got 2 other boys as well. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Very, awesome. Very much so.
Yes, amen to that. There you go. There you go. Let's finish that up. Quick shout out, Mike. Appreciate you being here, Mike. Dylan in the house. Dylan, thank you very much. Dylan has been everywhere today. I'll tell you what, on my streams, Joe's streams, everywhere. So appreciate that. All right. Listen. I know that Ada Ace has a bunch of stuff he wants to go over, but I was hoping maybe
we could about a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, and maybe though we could start off with the whole what I got the thumbnail about, if that's okay with you guys. What do you say?
I'm with it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, then I'm gonna bring this up. And then we'll play this video. It's about 3 minutes. And then we'll get everybody's input about it. Andrea's in the house. Welcome. Appreciate you. All right. Let's go. Here it is. Bang.
You begin thinking you've seen nearly everything that is possible after you've been in this industry, the Bitcoin and crypto industry, for nearly a decade. But every once in a while, you see something new that absolutely surprises you. That's exactly what happened yesterday when I saw a video clip of Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson. He took a recent recording, and what he said blew my mind. Here's what he had to say about selling his altcoins from the Cardano treasury in order to buy more Bitcoin.
I do believe that it will not materially impact Cardano by doing a conversion of 5 to 10% of the treasury into stable assets and assets like Bitcoin. And in doing this, we can create a yield, and that yield on an annual basis can be used to purchase ADA and over time replenish the treasury. And if this program is successful, then we can actually continue that strategy on an annualized basis, and over a period of 5 to 10 years, potentially grow to $1 billion plus stablecoin treasury and Bitcoin treasury to augment and enhance the ADA value in the treasury that we have. This sets us up for great returns and for a pretty stable floor for the ecosystem as a whole, like you would want in any good sovereign wealth fund.
Now, this clip is eye-opening for a number of reasons. First, Hoskinson is essentially admitting that his altcoin will not be able to hold water compared to Bitcoin over time. The only way to create long-term economic value is to sell the altcoin treasury and purchase Bitcoin. This seems a signal to me that the altcoin founders understand that Bitcoin's never going away. Second of all, Hoskinson seems to understand that the Bitcoin treasury companies are conducting a speculative attack on Bitcoin. They're selling shares in their company to buy Bitcoin. And so now the altcoin foundations, they got the ability to sell their altcoins to buy Bitcoin. The speculative attack, which was popularized by Pierre Rochard in 2014, has become one of the most important ideas to further the adoption of Bitcoin in recent years. And now third, and maybe most interestingly, the dominant performance of Bitcoin treasury companies has become too breathtaking to ignore. Take Metaplanet as one example. Simon Girovich, Dylan LeClaire, and the team over at Metaplanet have created one of the best performing stocks in the world. The company has grown their Bitcoin balance sheet from 0 Bitcoin to 10,000 Bitcoin in a little over a year. It's just incredible to watch. And look at this chart. It is eye-opening. So imagine you're sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars in altcoins and you are watching them continue to degrade in value against Bitcoin. You naturally start thinking it could be economically accretive to sell the altcoins and buy Bitcoin. This is no different than selling debased US dollars or public company equity. We are watching the speculative attack permeate every corner of the financial world. Everyone wants Bitcoin, and they're willing to sell whatever value they have in their portfolio in order to get more Bitcoin. This has long been the thesis of Bitcoiners. Hard money ultimately sucks capital into its black hole. And it's pretty cool to see that thesis playing out globally today. So if you think Bitcoin is close to topping out for this cycle, you must also remember that we still have a long way to go in order for Bitcoin to catch up to the global M2 supply. Raul Paul recently highlighted that 89% of all Bitcoin's price action is explained by global liquidity. This suggests that Bitcoin should see a $150,000 price point in the coming months, but no one, including me, has a crystal ball. So let's see what happens. Bitcoin's infiltrating Wall Street in new ways every day. People want to see as much of the digital asset as they can get their hands on. And a speculative attack is not a bad way to do it, especially, as we see, if you are sitting on a treasury of altcoins.
You're muted.
Oh, I'm muted. I'm sitting here, blah, 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 and I'm muted. You're muted, dude. Oh, man. Anyway.
Pulling an OC.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, basically, he's saying, that everybody's looking to get rid of Cardano because it ain't going to live up to Bitcoin. And so booyah for that. And man, I don't know. I don't know if I buy into this thesis where it comes to altcoins. I'm not even about the whole Michael Saylor strategy thing. We've been down that road on a previous Hollow line. But I don't know. A to Ace. You are the guest here. I'm interested to see what you think about what he had to say about this.
I think he's a complete idiot and used the video as a ploy to get clicks from the Cardano people to go and tell him how much of an idiot he is actually being. Completely honest, I don't think he even understood the concept of the reason why Charles is even trying to say that he's going to do that. So we're sitting on $1 billion worth of ADA as a foundation, and we can use it however we choose to, because all of the ADA holders are all able to vote or delegate to their D-reps that vote for them and everything. We're literally a community that has that billion ADA over there. We can do whatever the hell we want with it. We write a proposal, one of the D-reps does, they put it out for a vote. If the chain votes for it, then we do that. We spend the money on it. That's how it works. So we as a chain are going down the DeFi road and trying to bring Bitcoin DeFi on Cardano, which, if you don't know, today Lace actually turned on Bitcoin mainnet in their wallet. So hello, the ability to use Bitcoin in a Cardano wallet. Next is actually making the chain and the wallet all work together. They've already done that in some sort of simulation things, whatnot, with Bitcoin OS and Sundial and other things like that. But IOHK is actually working to bring it natively on chain, doesn't need anything else kind of deal through their protocols. And the whole point of taking some of those assets that we have in ADA is transitioning them into other assets so that we can seed liquidity in the protocols to bring the liquidity to the chain that everybody says doesn't have any liquidity. So use the liquidity that you have to generate the liquidity, so then people will come and play, because that's one of the things that people say. Also, when you're trying to bridge and bring in XRP on chain, you're trying to bring Bitcoin on chain, you want to have your own seeded liquidity. So how the hell are you supposed to get your seeded liquidity? You're supposed to use your asset that you have to get the seeded liquidity. Okay, so he just cut off the conversation and didn't listen to the other 30 minutes that he talked about. He used a 30-second clip to be able to make a clip for all these people and whatever million views or whatever he probably got on the damn thing, and 15,000 people to go tell him how much he's an idiot and all the rest of that.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's a maxi all the way around the board.
Yeah.
I just want to point out to everybody that links to the full AMA are in the description. So make sure you go ahead and check that out if you haven't already done it. BC, I didn't mean to cut you off there, brother. Go ahead.
No worries. Well, I was gonna say that I'm pretty sure Ada Ace has a similar viewpoint that I do. I'm not a maxi into the Ada community like he is, but if you want Bitcoin to be that base of your cryptocurrency space, then you need all of these altcoins to adopt Bitcoin seamlessly with their blockchain so that you can further expand out. Where one, we all know Bitcoin's the base. It was the first one. It's not going anywhere. And all of these other altcoins realize that too. But if you want someone to be able to like, okay, well, I need to interact with the ADA community, but I have a bunch of Bitcoin. How do I do this seamlessly without having to deal with, okay, well, I sold my Bitcoin. I bought, what is ADA's stable coin, ADA Ace?
Well, there's a few, but JED, USDM, USDA. USDM is a fiat backed. JED is your algorithmic stable coin.
Yeah, the algo coin.
IUSD is a synthetic that's done by Indigo. And USDA, I do believe, is treasuries and whatnot too. That's another one that's coming through there. But yeah, there's all the bullshit that's going on with Circle and everything there. And basically they don't like the fact that we don't want them to be able to control shit. And that's what it is. They want to control shit and we don't want to let them. So they're holding liquidity back, trying to hamstring us, talking shit as much as they can, probably paying for as much of the things just to prove a point that they control the shit when we're still here. We've popped out of the top 10 a little bit, but we're still there. Price doesn't matter. Like I was telling you earlier, you're holding onto a gas token. Quit holding a gas token and use the damn thing. That's the whole point of it. I'm ADA Ace, but my actual portfolio is 2% in actual ADA tokens, and those are held as collateral in a collateral debt position loan. So I actually really probably don't have very much ADA itself, other than things that are locked in the way the blockchain works and other stuff like that. But
and see, and that's that big difference is like ADA is not built for like, oh, I'm going to transact to mostly in ADA. ADA is the key to the rest of that ecosystem, and the key to using unlocking that ecosystem further is to have Bitcoin integrated in it. It's like, okay, well, I did such and such thing with ADA. I've got my gains. Let me put it into Bitcoin instead of, oh, I've got to sell my ADA and then buy Bitcoin. It's all seamless now. And that's that next step where it's like, I want to transact in my community. I do it with the said token of community, but I store it in Bitcoin, which is that gold that everyone talks about. And you're going to see this adopted further and further. It's not saying that, oh, my altcoin is not worth anything and that Bitcoin's clearly the winner, which, I mean, that's how I believe. But in each of these ecosystems, you need that Bitcoin there because Bitcoin's the base that the rest of this is built off of. And if you don't have that in there, then you're missing out on more people who are, say, a Bitcoin maxi going into that community being like, oh, well, what can I do with my Bitcoin?
Well, and the whole thing is Fluid Tokens has got the aquarium that they've got built. That's essentially a layer 2. They're the people that got Babel fees to work first and everything. And that's where you can take now, once they get Bitcoin to work in the Lace wallet, now that it is integrated mainnet where you can have Bitcoin wallet and Cardano wallet in the same functioning wallet. Once they get to be able to work on chain, then you'll be able to take your Bitcoin and transact on Cardano in Bitcoin that the Babel fees take and pay the fees on chain and in the Bitcoin or in whatever asset that are allowed on the Babel chain, the Babel fees and everything. There's like 10 or 15 that have that in, and you can pay in any of those tokens. If you want to make your token to be able to be allowed to be used for Babel fees, then you put the liquidity out and for that to be able to use as Babel fees. So we're very quickly becoming the backbone of blockchain, which is what Cardano was intended to do, was to be the backbone, and Midnight is going to solidify that. And we just got the Midnight paper today and all the rest of that. Your snapshot's already been taken. Don't sell your native tokens to try to get back into ADA. It's already been taken. Don't do that. Leave it alone. Don't mess with all of us people that have our CNTs and everything else like that, please. So they're going to 50% of the liquidity from that is going to come to ADA. And that's going to be a absolute infusion of liquidity into the Cardano and other blockchains, because what do you think most of those people are going to do with that? If it's a native asset, that there's going to be a liquidity pool in Cardano that's going to be on MinSwap and all the rest of those things. You drop 100 ADA worth of some other token that nobody cares about, they're going to liquidate that stuff and go spend it back into the chain somewhere. And that's essentially what they're doing. It's an airdrop that they're dropping in the amount of liquidity. I haven't actually seen how much it is, but that amount of liquidity into the Cardano blockchain. So that's going to be a spike too. It's all coming together all at the same time. You have World Mobile, you have Igon, you have Cornucopias, you have all the rest of this kind of crazy things that are the big three, big four, in my opinion, that are going to make everyone realize why Cardano and why it's been building for as long as it has, because it just works. It's just not as fast as some people want, but they just don't understand that you don't have to click that button 42 times on Cardano. You can say you want 42 transactions in one click and have them all happen together. That's the biggest difference. Nobody understands about the transactions and, oh, your TPS, and who gives a shit? I don't give a shit about your TPS, because I can put 1,000 transactions and pay one transaction fee and one signature on Cardano. You can't do that anywhere without some kind of smart contract or other things. So I'll get off my soapbox for a minute.
No, that's
didn't they do a whole thing where they basically proved that ADA can handle dang near close to like 1 million TVS?
Okay, so in a theoretical L2 version of Hydra, that is one of the L2s that they're working on, they were able to reproduce the ability to get to 1 million TPS. There are finite resources and things that you would use the Hydra sidechain for. But there is things that you could do that for. Something you would need to do a whole bunch of transactions really fast around and then say, okay, yes, this did happen, and then finalize them all together. So you can do a whole bunch of transactions and it run on the blockchain, and then you finalize them when you want to, because all of the transactions are going between the different heads, which are the different nodes that are in an agreement on that Hydra protocol. So then they agree to these things, and all they have to do is agree between those Hydra heads once they say, close, instead of the 4,000 different nodes that are on the chain and whatnot. And it happens off in a side chain function.
Okay.
So it's not like we were going to be able to make ADA be able to work at 1 million TPS. That's not possible in the way that it works. But okay, go ahead.
Okay, fair enough. I just want to give a quick shout out to the chat, and then there's a question for you. But Kevin in the house, appreciate you being here, Kevin. Thank you very much. Wick's wife, WW in the house, appreciate you being here very much. JP Riggs in the house, and he said his phone's dying, but he'll be right back. No problem. Appreciate it. Shuby has shown up. Shuby Buckets in the chat, everybody. And here is the question. I love Andrea. She's always involved in like every live stream, and she has got the best questions. So I will leave the question on the screen, and feel free to jump on that 8 Ace at your leisure.
So, yes, but writing in Plutus is not normally an issue anymore. They have Aiken, they have other different languages that you can write in now that are a lot easier for people to go and move from. There's actually some AI things that have been created that are working on taking one of the other smart contract languages, can't remember right now, I'm mind blanking on that one, and automatically put it into Aiken to be able to work. So you can take contracts that have been written in other on other blockchains and move it over, and it worked just fine using that one. So yes, that is an issue, but that's one of the things that has been funded through Plutus Pioneers and other things like that. But Aiken is a lot easier to be worked with, and there's other ones that are being worked on as well.
Okay. Now, I mean, wouldn't they create like a toolkit to help like go between the different languages?
So
there's saying that correctly, but
yeah, there's all kinds of back-end language and all kinds of different things that have already been set up for lots of things. That's why it's taken as long as it has, because it was an entirely new language. So they had to write the language, and then they had to write all of the libraries for everybody to use, and then they've had to upgrade it from 1 to 2 to 3. We've been on Plutus v3 for 2-3 months, 4 months, whatnot kind of deal. I think Wi-Fi is going to be the first DEX to be able to have the Plutus v3 enabled smart contracts in a DEX there, and that shit's going to be crazy. You're going to be able to have up to 6 different tokens in one liquidity pool for it to be able to play off of and everything. So I'm going to be having my project that I'm working with that's coming up, that's bringing Bitcoin into Cardano and other things like that. We're actually going to be hopefully be one of the first tokens to be able to have Bitcoin ADA and our Bolt token triple pool on Wi-Fi once those go live as well. So that'll be pretty cool if we can be able to do that. If we're not the first, at least something we want to do.
Gotcha. BC, if you got something, man, you know the drill. Jump on in there, bud.
Well, on the whole programming thing, programming language, didn't they develop a drag and drop for Ada so that you could build a little easier? If I'm not mistaken, wasn't that something that they were working on?
So there are lots of easy things now. Like I can make a token. I've made my own token. I'm not a smart contract writer or whatnot. I went into a damn website and I said, make me a token. It said, what's your picture? What do you want to name it? What do you want to do this? And there was a token. So they have things like that. They have, we have minters that have NFT minting sites and other things like those things. So we can mint in NFTs. We can mint crazy NFTs like the one we're about to do. That's a CIP68. Crazy language for everybody, but essentially means that the metadata is mutable. So you have an NFT and then you can change the actual metadata of your NFT, and the smart contracts on Cardano can interact with the changing metadata with your NFT, and it actually changed the attributes of the things that whatever you set it up with. So, you have playing card game that you want to interact with, and hey, you upgrade your card, well, your character in the game upgrades because you upgraded your card, and that's all done through a smart contract way of if you say I got to pay for it, or I got to hit this certain cycle of a game, or whatever you set up in the smart contract, you do that, you prove you do it, it happens on chain. Then it actually updates the picture that you have on your NFT, updates all your attributes, updates your metadata, and all the rest of that. So when you sell it, it actually is a sold, upgraded asset. It's not just the same simple picture. So that's one of the cool things on the NFT side there. But all those things are set up. There's companies, multiple different companies and projects that have those things that are set up. There are devs that are out there. I have devs that are working on my flip token game that I have that's going to be going live here pretty soon. There's other devs that are out there building Cornucopias. There's, that one, Cornucopias. If you don't know about that one's going to be the most dopest damn game ever. It is what it is. It's taking a while, but video games take a while. GTA is taking, 10 years, and it's $1 billion, and it ain't come out yet. Cornucopias has gone through a couple different iterations on its Unreal Engine that it uses. It's upgraded to 5.6 now. They think that one is like nail in what they've got. We've got some new things coming up on that build. We should get build 0.30 or 0 hopefully very soon, which is all kinds of openings and guns and new jetpacks and all kinds of fun things for us to do, new world to look at, and speed off to the next build, which is where we get the land grab and the different abilities to craft and do things, all kinds of stuff in that build, which hopefully it'll be Christmas this year. It was, maybe Christmas last year, and then they realized maybe we don't need to let you grab land that you're not going to be able to do shit on, because then everybody just be mad. So y'all could just stay mad. That's basically what they said. And World Mobile, that one. If you don't have any of that, you're dumb. Buy that one. Okay, buy that one. Just buy that one. This is financial advice. So World Mobile is going to change a lot of things for a lot of people.
See, I was letting it ride. BC was like, no way. Bam.
Yeah, that one had to happen.
That was great. Obviously, yes, whatever. It is my largest holding. If it doesn't do well, I will be very, very sad. But it is changing the way that people connect. On the blockchain, in the world, all kinds of ways, and whatnot. They're not Helium, but they are the most notable to Helium. Helium is not the same thing. It doesn't operate the same way. And actually, World Mobile is their own damn blockchain. That mainnet should happen very damn soon. And when that happens, then this CTV right here is going to make me a lot of damn money. Because we own one of the Earth nodes, which is actually running the blockchain. One of the nodes, it's the license and the ability to run it. And World Mobile is actually the gas token on the World Mobile chain. So that is a gas token. You don't want to hold that one other than to make more of it, because that's the only way you can make that token is by holding it. And our Earth nodes want you to stake them with us, because then the more you stake with us until it gets to the point that it says no more, the more we make. And that's when the CTV token, that one, will do very well, because 60% of EarthNode 71 is owned by the protocol itself, which is essentially a DAO. It's not a DAO, but whatever you want to call it. It's a bunch of crypto people that got together, made a token, put some money together, and have had an absolute blast the last 2.5 years, writing different proposals, voting on things, and all kinds of things, getting in and out of tokens. We DCA into 10 different tokens every 5 days, and have done that for the last 2.5 years. So we have a hell of a treasury, because we haven't sold much of anything except a couple of different things. We've had some that are up 500-600%, and some that are not. But the whole point of what we are doing is we're accumulating to be able to yield off of everything that we accumulated, and all of that yield is going to go back to the token holders. So that's what we actually ended up creating. That wasn't the point of the project, but that's what we made it as the holders. That's what we did. We voted on, created it, and that's what it ended up being. We have many other things, liquidity pools, all kinds of things that we do things in. There's a lot of projects now that have done what we had started doing in a lot larger fashion. But we started as a super bear market in like January of 22, and minted on 10,000 NFTs that were between 5 and 10 ADA, which was like asking for like $2.50. So that's how we got the funding for it, and we're there. And then the Wojak one, that one is essentially a degen version of that one. So yeah, and that's running by director number 2, because I'm director number 1 in CTV, and director number 2 actually runs that one, and then I run Hydrotrip. So
My goodness.
It's a project that created a bunch of other founders because we all got together and realized we knew way too much about crypto to not do shit with it.
There you go. There you go. Now, BC, did you have another question? Because I'm about to ask him a question, and I know he's going to go off for a while. So I
No,
Let me drink my
not
water.
really.
okay.
But,
Well, listen. In the background when we were getting ready to start, I asked Ada Ace to what's up with the strike that he's got up there. Matter of fact, let me bring him up here a little bit bigger here. You can see up over there behind his shoulder. Yep, exactly.
Strike.
And he started explaining that whole thing. So you know what? Share it with everybody who's watching right now.
So Strike Finance is essentially hyperliquid on steroids, in my opinion, on a token, on a chain that doesn't have enough liquidity. Whatnot. But it is the ability to trade leverage trade on chain in a decentralized fashion. They have basically created liquidity pools that they started and seeded like $500,000 worth of liquidity in. And then now there's the ability for the community to provide their own liquidity. I think we have like 4 million ADA or $4 million worth of ADA. I don't remember which one it is in TVL right now. They're in the top 10 of TVL, and they just started on mainnet like a month and a half ago. So that's pretty cool there. They started with like $1,000 positions as your max. Now they're up to $100,000 position. Started at 10x on your leverage max. Now they can do 15x. It's actually using a time-weighted average on an oracle of 4 or 5 different oracles. So one oracle can go down, and it doesn't actually mess too much with the time-weighted average. You're not trading an order book, so you can have like $1 million worth of long interest to $25,000 worth of short interest, and not mess with the order book, because it's not an order book. You're actually like oracle trading into pool lending, whatnot. So like if you have 10,000 ADA, you can provide liquidity to this pool, and then you earn when people are liquidated, or you earn their fees for the lend that they borrowed by doing the leverage trade. There is impermanent loss, because if there's a lot of traders that do really well, then you could lose funds. But we all know there's a lot of degens, and if you think these exchanges are out there doing what they're doing to lose money to an order book, no, they're paying them to keep it moving. This one, you don't even need to do that. It is what it is. People get paid out and whatnot when the price moves on the oracles. So it's pretty cool. And then if you're a token holder, you get to actually earn. Hey, there's somebody else here now. What's up?
Yeah, Badel finally made it. Welcome, Badel.
If you're a token holder, then when you stake the token, then you earn 100% of the opening fees. You share the opening fees. The actual founders and team don't get a percentage of any of the protocol revenue. They get a share from their stake or their liquidity that they put into the protocol to begin with. The current APR on the liquidity side is about 350% APR, which is crazy, if you ask me. And I currently am already double my last Epic's payout for my token staking. It's not very much if you really ask me. You know, I have like 3,000 ADA worth of the token, and I've gotten like 3 ADA worth back. But if you really ask me, I spent like 300 ADA on the what's now 3,000 ADA worth of the token, and they're paying me still. So I call that a win. And when I trade on their exchange, and if I lose, then I'm paying the liquidity provider saying thank you. And then if I open a position, then I'm actually paying myself because I'm a token staker. So, you know, that just makes sense to make this be used way more, because then I'll make more off of my stake, and so will everybody else, and everybody will be real happy. But it's the #1 revenuing protocol on Cardano. It made like 40,000 ADA in revenue to its holders in a month, which is a lot. Kind of good. So, woo! All we need is more people to use it, and then it goes even more, crazy. So, yeah, let's get it to $1 billion TVL. Woo.
And you were mentioning that it's basically smart contract run. They're all audited, all that kind of stuff, right? I mean, just for anybody who's like,
it's no multi-signatures. There's no anything else like that. It's all run on the blockchain. It's all run by a smart contract. It's all been open sourced and audited. It's all on their GitHub. You can go see all of that kind of stuff. They're great devs. They're in there every day. They're changing stuff. They're updating stuff. So they're definitely putting the work in, bro, for sure. So it's very interesting to see how the token has run up. People took money out of the token to be able to put in liquidity. Liquidity got so much, then they took some back out of that because the token went down so much to put back more in the token to stake more of the token. It's very interesting to see how that ebb and flow of how its ecosystem liquidity worked over the last 2 weeks.
Nice. I mean, guys, I'm asking all the questions here. Come on, bail a boy out. Go ahead.
Well, didn't you have another topic that you wanted to touch on here? Because it had to do with the stable coins on ADA versus.
Are you talking about what you sent me? Unfortunately, I wasn't able to bring that over in time to start. I don't know if you have that. We can bring it up and we can talk about it. Do you have that link available?
I'd have to go pull it up.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get it here in time, but we'll hold off on that. And listen, guys, you got questions for ADA Ace? Now's the time. Put them in the chat. The boy is answering everything and not holding anything back. That's for sure. So anything else though, ADA Ace, while he's pulling that link up that you want to throw out there about what's going on in the Cardano verse?
Yeah, come mint my NFTs, help fund my project and its deal, and earn from its revenue, which its revenue is me. So I am an in real life marketer, and everybody said Cardano needed marketing, so I found a way to monetize myself. So I created a project, and when I do work for other projects or other things like that in the blockchain, then that comes back to my holders and whatnot there. I don't take a cut of it because I own like 1 billion of my tokens, and I own more than 50 of my NFTs that I've minted with my own money and whatnot. So that's like my own thing of what I'm saying. This is, I got my own skin in the game. You know, the node that I have that is back here, the extra hard drives and everything was funded by the community, but the actual computer and everything, the rest of it, that was funded by myself to begin with. So we've got that. It'll be, you know, almost 6 months at this point when we'll be able to actually start revenuing from it. But, you know, that's how that works there. And then I own 10 of the air nodes through Hoskillion. They're another on the chain meme pin deal that they are done by an ambassador from World Mobile. And that's actually owning the antenna endpoints for those. Those actually earn dollars off of their usage as well there. So I'm, you know, project is earning that way. Then all of the marketing that I do and whatnot there. So we have a project that we're doing a full on marketing that I actually got so involved with. I'm actually a signed in advisor, part of the team kind of deal, I guess, there. For that deal on the blockchain, we're going to be minting those CIP68, so the upgradable NFTs. They're going to be awesome, like Mech Warrior type deals, Gundam, whatever you want to say, as the picture deal. And there's a bunch of there's 5 different layers and 5 different rarities and a whole bunch of different ecosystem burns and buys and upgrades and all kinds of things, how it works. But essentially, you mint the NFTs, we're taking those funds, we're buying Bitcoin miners, and we're going to put him with one of our community members, Buck, and he's actually a Bitcoin miner host. So he's going to be running the miners for us. And that's going to be funding back different deals where some of it's going to come back to the token, some of it's going to come back to NFT. I've wrote 2 different Medium articles that will take you about an hour to read both of them. that are on my Medium site as well. I got told that was not how I should have done it, but the whole point is I wanted to get the whole thought out because it takes a while to get the entire game theory of the ecosystem that my idea has created by the buy, burn, upgrade, amount going to the different places and the compounding here and whatnot and how it all works and everything. So I'm very interested to see what will actually happen with that ecosystem when it gets kicked off and everything.
Nice.
We hopefully have a new mint partner and everything. I do believe we got that one scheduled and everything done today. We had a previous mint partner that did save us in the day of our mint that we had scheduled because our founder had put the metadata in there and whatnot. It was okay. We're going to mint like 1,000 of the same pictures, but hey, he stopped it. But it made us realize that there was maybe some things that were lacking in what we wanted as another partner in that, and the future endeavors that we were going to need from just the mint, not just the mint. So we changed to a new mint partner. We'll release all the data or all the information and everything when we get that. But that's a really cool deal. And when that happens and everything, then there's funding and whatnot that I'm earning and everything to the project from that mint and everything there. So that's how that works on my project. And we have our own token flip game that we have that has an innovative thing on a progressive bonus round. So that's something that I haven't seen and I want people to be able to play with and gamble with. And when you flip, we earn 5% of it. And that goes back to all of our holders through our revenue protocol and whatnot.
Now, I know you might not be able to actually put live links in the chat. I think I got that restricted a little bit, but if you could put it in the private chat for like your Medium, and then if the minting for your NFTs, I'll make sure that it makes it out to all the sites that we're streaming on right now.
Okay, so our mint is actually in our Discord. That's one of our partners there. So you just go over to our Discord and we'll show you how to do it and everything there. And there is my Medium there.
Excellent.
And I'll shoot you my Discord too. You can keep asking me questions or whatnot. Go ahead.
Yes. I'm going to put that out. BC, it looks like you're already in the background. Go ahead and jump in and I'll make sure those links go out in the meantime.
Well, so this was the article version, since I didn't go with the 18-minute long video that Charles Hoskinson was explaining on the ADA DeFi system and how they needed stablecoins to be able to really expand their ecosystem. And I kind of thought that it'd be nice to get some of ADA's viewpoints on this, where... Let me zoom this in. Wrong screen. There we go. Let me zoom that on in. There we go. Stablecoin deficit threatens the ecosystem's growth. And this was straight from Charles Hoskinson's mouth. He said the Cardano ecosystem is facing a significant stablecoin shortfall that limits its DeFi expansion and competitive positioning. Data from DeFi Llama shows only 31 million worth of stablecoins minted on-chain, despite 356 million in total value locked. In comparison, Solana has 11 billion in stablecoins against nearly 10 billion in total value locked. Hoskinson argued that the network must correct this imbalance to remain competitive in the layer 1 blockchain space. By boosting stablecoin issuance, Cardano aims to improve users' experience across lending, borrowing, and liquidity provisionings. The increased liquidity may enhance access to Cardano tokens across Tier 2 and Tier 3 exchanges. He believes the new allocation strategy will help reduce friction and improve capital efficiencies in Cardano DeFi protocols. And this was that next part of him selling ADA for Bitcoin. Not only was it selling ADA for Bitcoin, but it was also selling ADA to fund these stablecoin projects that he believes is a very crucial role that in the ADA ecosystem if you want to further the DeFi space.
That he also funded as well, so he wants it to do well as well. That's kind of the insider trading issue with it a little bit, but I see where he's coming from. And yes, he's funded a lot of things because he's the billionaire founder and wants to see things do well. So there are things that he has funded, but you know, there's a lot of people that just talk shit just to talk shit, honestly. And there's some people that bring up honest issues, and those ones you really listen to. The ones that talk shit are the ones that get the most noise, but it is what it is there. You know, so like I said, we have a billion ADA, and yeah, what are we going to do with the billion ADA? He's not saying to use a billion ADA and dwindle the entire you know, deal. He's taking 10% of it, you know, or whatnot, $100 million or $300 million, whatever it is, because the whole thing is as soon as you actually start using the Babel fees, and as soon as you start using all of these other things, the chain is actually going to be holding more than just ADA anyway in its own treasury reserve, because its payments are going to be paid in those. So why would you not hold a treasury of the things that you're going to get paid in already? If you're going to use them to yield on in your own network and be able to then earn on the yield that you make by providing the liquidity in the first place, because all you need is liquidity. The shit's already built. It's already here. Just we need the liquidity. We have the liquidity. Let's make the damn liquidity, then go market it about it and stop bitching at everybody. And then we'll do great, because as soon as the price of the damn token goes up, then everybody that doesn't pay attention to it will stop talking about Solana, and we'll actually talk about ADA, and we'll come actually see all of the great things that actually happen, not things that are just fake because it's too cheap to be able to have $1 billion go back and forth to say, ha ha ha, I had how much money traded in volume. I have $400 million in traded volume on a token with $35,000 in total liquidity. You know, you can only freaking do that on Solana because you can do 1 billion damn transactions. It's not worth anything other than cheaply transacting things, and it's not secure.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to find many fans of Solana on this stream right now. And Chris, welcome. Appreciate you being here. Sorry. BC, it looks like you might have something else in the background there.
Yes. I do have one more thing. And I know me and Ada had talked about it before. And I kind of wanted to hear his thoughts on this. It's the biggest news that the ADA community has had since their last update, in my personal opinion. I'm sure Ada can guess what this news is.
I have absolutely no clue what you're talking about. So go ahead and tell me which one. Because
So Charles Hoskinson saying, I won't be derailed in his final mission for Cardano. Charles Hoskinson said he's committed to handing over control of ADA to the community by finalizing the blockchain's budget and constitution in 2025, and that he's going to step down afterwards. So, for those who know me well, the statement is nothing new, Charles said, addressing both his supporters and critics. I've spent 10 years of my life on Cardano. Many mistakes were made, but I never crossed lines for a cash grab from the community or deviated from the original roadmap. He's digging in his heels for 2025, a year that will decide if Cardano can fully transition to the decentralized governance model. The final steps involve getting the blockchain's budget and constitution approved. No small feat. Charles has no plans to give up. My last duty is to remove any roadblock for this transition. There is no way in hell anyone or anything is going to derail that process. And then potentially stepping down afterwards.
But that already happened.
Did fully stepped down?
Yeah, we're all the captain now. That happened like a couple of months ago. So the constitution's on the blockchain. All the DREPs are there. The keys, the Genesis keys have been burned. It takes a protocol, smart contract to go through the governance section and all the rest of that. That's the whole thing. Is he's still a voice for it, but he's still the CEO of IOHK, but he no longer has the keys to the blockchain. So he's just a voice, and he can voice things, and he does have his ADA to vote with and other things like that. But in the aspect of that, he has the keys to be the final one to go clickety clack on a computer. That's been given to the DREPs. That's how it works. That's why the whole thing with this. That's why he got so vocal with it now, because he can be vocal with it because he can't just go make it happen.
See, and that's why I was saying the biggest news for the Cardano community since their last update. We haven't had a chance to really discuss that here. We've had a lot of focus on stable coins and legislation that's been going on. So we haven't really talked about that here on this channel. And I knew that that was something to be brought up. I didn't know that it actually happened. I knew that it had been talked about, but I don't follow ADA the same way that you do. I don't even hold ADA. To be honest, I hold 0 ADA, but that's because I'm a Bitcoin maxi. So,
well, shame on you, PortCorp.
Yeah, no.
But hey, you know what? Everybody has
Argentina. It was signed in Argentina. There's like a whole video and everything where he goes and signs they're all there, and they sign actually a piece of paper, the Constitution, figuratively, so that then they do their actual like on the blockchain deal. But they all did it in Argentina. That was a couple of months ago, and that's when you saw him start getting so vocal about things, because he no longer had the actual control to just do things. He has to get the community behind his ideas now, and actually get the community that holds the token to vote for the ideas and proposals that he puts out. That's why he said he'll be putting a proposal out at Rare Evo on how to, on the $100 million deal, what to do with it, where to put it, how to make it work, where it's going to go, and the whole thing. Because he said, look, I had the idea, we can do it, nobody understands it, so I'm going to write the whole thing up and everything and give it to everybody when the Cardano community is there at Rare Evo all together. Rare Evo is not just a Cardano conference, but it is heavily Cardano conference kind of deal. Basically, it's a Cardano conference, but it's not. So there'll be a lot of things that'll happen then. Honestly, a lot of cool stuff.
Here we go.
Well, let's hear it, Badel.
I don't know. I came in late as fuck. I'll admit that, because like I put in the text, and all this layer 2, layer 3 staking, stable coins, all this random shit from Cardano, which has its own coin, and it is its own coin. And Charles Hoskinson stepped down, as Ada said. Like, I'm sorry, but all that right now turns me off from this project in the last 15 minutes that I've been here. And
but what's Cardano for, though? Let me ask that one then. So what is ADA? What's the token for?
I don't know, but it's like Ethereum and all these other coins. What do? They start going to layer 2, layer 3, NFTs, all that other shit, and they get fucking burned down to the ground. I think opinion. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to swear, but
no, you're
I'm just comparing this coin now to Ethereum, unfortunately, because I like Cardano, but for the last 15 minutes, all I've heard is kind of a salesman pitch and what is actually happening. And then we're hearing months now that Charles Hoskinson has stepped back months ago, which we thought was kind of news more like nowadays. And it's like, I supported that project mainly because I like Charles, and he was doing live.
He's still the CEO. He's still the CEO of IOHK. and whatnot. He's still part of the development side and what gets paid now, but he's now a CEO of a business that does proposals to the blockchain. The blockchain then has to vote and then pay his company that he's the CEO of to do development work and other things like that. He is no longer having the keys of the Genesis block to actually turn the keys to change the things on the blockchain. That has now been given to the decentralized representatives that are all out there that we vote with by staking or delegating our delegated stake to those decentralized representatives to vote for us, or we get on and vote as well, our own deal. So we've created our own governance, and we don't need a supreme leader if we have our own governance. So everyone is their own spokesperson for the chain now. If you want something to happen, you have the representatives have their own play. They have, hey, I have 100 million ADA that is I represent in my vote, whatnot. Here is a proposal that I want to do to use some assets here, or I want to propose an upgrade to the blockchain and all the rest of those things. It takes somebody to be able to propose the changes.
How much change has the white paper been in the last 6 to 8 months, though? Because the white paper is the white paper, right? I get it.
Yeah.
It's edited, but
the whole point of
like 6 to 8 months ago, what has all changed? I'm going to assume a lot.
Well, so from when it started, there's been a lot of different iterations because of the way the blockchain works and how a hard fork happens on Cardano, where you can hard fork the blockchain and not have to actually create a new chain where everybody has to move to. You just update and it keeps moving. The blocks keep producing. You just upgraded the chain. That's something that is innovative to the way that Cardano is built. And that's been upgraded a whole bunch of times because they put the ledger in. They made the ability to stake the tokens. They made the ability to have smart contracts. They've upgraded the libraries, went from Plutus 1 to 2 to now V3. Now there's Aiken that's built on it and everything else. So it's a blockchain that's envisioned to be used. And the ADA token is the gas token to use this blockchain. And they're actually building layer 2s that allow you to natively use the security of Cardano and then pay in other chains tokens is what we're talking about there. And if we want to have an ability to have a World Mobile Token Bitcoin liquidity pool that runs on a decentralized exchange on Cardano and have BC be able to come in with his Bitcoin wallet and buy World Mobile with his Bitcoin, you are going to be able to do that on Cardano in a couple of months. That's what's happening here. It is the culmination of the blockchains coming together instead of me, mine. It's actually we're here and everybody's going to be able to do things here. They're doing it with XRP and XRP's USD, stablecoin that's there, all that kind of stuff. So
I just want to touch on a few comments in the chat. Let's start off with welcome, Bruno, and thank you for being here and increasing our IQ for your being here. Much appreciated. And K Diggity is in the house, and yes, he's latest truck. That's what he said. Very good. Yes.
Hey, K Diggity, you probably joined about the same time I did because I admitted I was late. I missed a lot,
and that's why you don't understand what ADA does.
There you go. And in fairness, he told Ada Ace told me I didn't understand either, and we hadn't even started the stream yet. So
see, and that's one of the things. Ada is a bit of a confusing layer one because instead of like other layer ones where you build on top of your layer one to use your layer one, you're building on top of your layer one in Cardano to not use your layer one.
Right.
It is the base, and you're using like the language and everything, but ADA is not supposed to be used every day. Like you use your ADA to get into all these other projects, and that's it. It is the key to the ecosystem. Instead of, if you want to build on Ethereum, you need Ethereum to do anything on Ethereum because it's an EVM, Ethereum virtual machine. And if you don't hold Ethereum, then you can't do anything on its L2s. Its L2s use Ethereum to burn gas fees. And that's why it's ridiculously expensive to do anything on Ethereum. So it's the opposite.
Ethereum is not expensive, please.
Oh no, never. It doesn't cost like $20 to send $100. Yeah, unless you're using one of their L2s, but
that's actually pretty cheap. I mean, I looked at $35 on Ethereum.
How are you sending money? Are you still doing wire transfers? You over there going to Walmart like, hey, I need to send my grandma $250. So I'm willing to pay the $25 it takes.
I was gonna say, the Western Union fee.
There we go.
Walmart is the closest grocery store to where I live, and it's a 30-minute drive, and I still go another 20 minutes past them to fuck them because I don't shop there.
There you go.
Nope, I don't either.
There you go. Jay Violet is in the house. Appreciate you being here. Jay Violet emojis if you're a channel member. All Set is in the house. Love it. And Chris, you know what? I appreciate the kind words, man. We try here. We really do. We try to put out good information. And thank you to Ada Ace. I'm going to just say it because he's putting out alpha that I couldn't even wrap my head around some of it. So there it is. I call it what it is. And Kay Diggity. Yeah, the hair. And she says, yeah, the hair. I just don't care. There it is. There it is. Okay. I think I've caught up on the chat at this point. Oh, wait. What's this? Kay Diggity says, no, there it is. There it is.
Well, man. he said getting into debate with Ace over ADA. I got 95% more Bitcoin than ADA. Am I doing it wrong? I said he's doing it right because I own 0 ADA. But to be fair, I got into this space because I was a Bitcoiner and I was using Bitcoin. So you
can use your own blockchain, but we're just going to unlock it for you. Sorry, I'm going to get into a trade here for a second. We're going to do.
It's like, hold on, I got to make some money.
We're going to do a trade real quick.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
I agree with K Diggity about 95% more. No, he said 95% more BTC than ADA. Well, I'm the opposite. Yeah. I have very little BTC, and my biggest bag is Cardano. And in the last 30 minutes,
I was waiting for you to say XRP.
No,
I was waiting for
XRP the other day. Just so people stop giving me so much shit. But
I just got in the 15x long.
You bring it on yourself, Badel. You're bringing it on yourself.
15x long on
fine, whatever. But after tonight, like,
tell me if I'm stupid.
I may sell my whole bag of ADA, even out of
Just give it to me. Just give it to me. Hey, BC,
he said he'll buy it directly from you.
Look at Cardano and tell me if I'm crazy. I just put in a 15x long. I think we're going to 60 cents.
Oh, there you go.
Well,
I think saying it's the only ADA she's got is what she won.
Strike Finance. There we go. Let's see if it happens.
Let me pull up ADA.
Yep. It's a ballsy. It's a ballsy move.
That's crazy. So from my call this morning, we bounced directly on the level that I said, and then have now gotten back above the platinum pocket and are making. I said if we are able to get back above the platinum pocket, to look for 62 cents again. So I don't know if you want to.
Well, I'm 15x long.
Say, Chris says he's up 34% already. He must have listened to you this morning.
Yeah,
I want a 78% trade already. If I would have got out on my short, I would have had a 50% win on the short because I shorted when we went down earlier. I was in a long on the up. I shorted the down, and then I've been on a long on the way up. I've been absolutely killing it with Strike in the ability to leverage trade Cardano. It's actually beautiful. But I'm in a ballsy long trade right now.
Yeah, you might see a retest of 57 cents just to cool off, and then a continuation towards the upside.
Yeah.
So I called 57 or 51 cents being that bottom point, and then turning that platinum pocket into support this morning, and then making our way back up. Hourly still looks solid for a continuation. Seeing a little bit of rollover. That's where I'd like to see that cool off.
Go
But
all the way down. All the way
4
down.
hour
5
just
minute.
getting ripped.
5 minute.
4 hours just starting to rip. Let's see, 5 minute.
Go all the way down to the 5 minute. We got a bullish divergence, I do believe. And that's a
1 minute
flag.
Let's see. 1 minute. 1 minute. You're starting to see those divergences play out. So you've got this stacked up. You've got a few reversal signals. That's why I said you could see 57 cent come into play, and then that rip back up to 62 cents. So that's all the levels I talked about this morning too. I talked about that coming down 51 cents, turning the platinum pocket back into some support, and then making our way back up above 57. 57 looks like that might be an area where you can double down.
There you go. See that, guys? You get everything, ADA, even trading.
I got you. If you want to show it, look at.
Great.
Show my screen real quick. I'm sharing it.
Oh, there it is. I'm like, where is it? There it is.
So
ADA trades, Crypto Badel. ADA trades.
This is my trade, right? Okay, so here's your POC from this range. We came back in it. We accepted it. We went right to the POC. We're on top of it. We've now respected it. This has now created a triangle, which actually is a flag pole. Up here would bring you back up almost to the value area high of this range. So that's what I'm playing this to actually occur here, because I see this as a bullish divergence kind of deal. Oh shit, here kind of deal. So if you want to look at that, that's I see that as kind of a bullish divergence come out of that. I could be just freaking stupid, but hey, that's how it works.
Well, that's why I'm saying you might get another point to double down at 57 cents, which is like midline. If you go to that 15 minute, that 57 cents is also going to be the midline of that giant fair value gap green candle. Yeah. So nice little retest point to come back down to if it breaks to the downside of that triangle. Yeah,
it'd be right here. 57.1 on this chart would be the middle of the fair value gap there for sure.
Yep. 57.176 is what I have.
Yeah, so, something like that.
There you go. Yep.
BC, you got to take control for a second. I'm having some computer difficulties.
Well, I don't know if you want to just wind it on down then.
I do, but I'm trying to forward over to OC, and I'm having some difficulty doing that. But if you could give me a minute and control StreamYard, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. Well, that's kind of what I'd look for on that trade there, Ada. If it does go to the downside,
you're thinking a 2% drop from here.
Yeah, nothing crazy, but like a nice solid retest to that giant fair value gap from the 15-minute candle, especially as you're seeing Bitcoin roll over. Looks like it's about to roll over from a little bit of resistance at that 106 that I talked about this morning. So we got those nice, very equal candle body rejections off of 106, looking a little downside. So might see a little cool off.
They want to come back into it, I guess, but there sure are. Every one of them was flagging out on me, but yeah, we'll see what it does there. Because it's got a loud order block and look at all.
We also got to see. I dropped a little news article right before we had started the show in our personal little Discord group. And then I also dropped it in Piper Academy, which was a potential for a ceasefire with Iran and Israel. So we might see a little bit of a cool off, and then markets being bought up in Asia trading time zone, which is just about to start. I got that link for you if you need it, CCM.
I wasn't able to bring that. That's what I was saying. I wasn't able to bring that over. Unfortunately, you got it in the. I'm just starting.
I just dropped it. I just dropped it in the private chat.
Yeah, I'm just starting to get control back over here. Give me a second. Man, I hate Google. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to run StreamYards like that, or I just set up the redirect for you.
That's okay. Well, you can't because it's connected to my channel. That's one thing you can't do, unfortunately. Where did it go?
Over there laughing in the corner.
What is going on?
I muted, sir.
Oh, it's a YouTube video.
For
oh,
OC?
for the I'm sorry.
To redirect too. That's what he was.
Yeah, no. That I got it now. I thought you shared the Iran thing. That's what I was.
No. Oh, no. I shared the redirect for OC, the link for you.
I'm such a simple guy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna save that for Good Morning Crypto. We will be talking about the potential there. Yeah.
Listen.
And then we can save that for next Monday.
I understand.
And we'll see if it's actually true or not. Because Trump's never came out and said, yeah, we got to deal with China, and there was no China deal. Or, hey, we got to deal with this country, and there was no deal with that. He's never done that to manipulate markets and liquidate people and get buying opportunities. That's never happened.
Never.
ever.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, basically.
UW Celine. Welcome, and yes, Ada Ace is the man. He is the man. I mean, you got a lot of alpha here tonight, man. A lot of alpha. Okay, I'm sorry.
Have we put ADA Ace's YouTube channel in the comments lately?
It's not. I didn't have it in the comments, but it is in the description.
BC,
I can drop it right now.
All right, perfect.
I haven't been on it for a minute. I'm on other people's shows and everything, honestly. So.
Slacker. You slacker, sir.
Slacker.
But yeah, we'll see. I'm probably gonna start trying to do a little bit. So we'll see how well I do with it and everything. But your call there on coming back down is probably a better call there. I was trying to say we were gonna stay bullish since we stayed above the POC, but we'll see who's right. It'll be all right.
We'll see in the morning. But
there it is.
I might come on tomorrow morning and be like, look at that. We bounced shot 57. I hope you got in where I said, Ada. Yeah. I hope you got your double down point.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
We'll see what happens.
All right, guys, what do you say? Shall we wrap it up?
Yes, sir. I'm ready to go eat some pizza, sir.
Yeah, I got to pending. The wife is like literally standing just off camera here. Like, you know what I mean?
Hurry up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hey, 8 Ace, thank you for everything today. Appreciate you being here this whole time and early and schooling everybody with that information today. Appreciate that. And good luck with Strike Finance, by the way.
Yeah, it'll be fun, man. We'll see what happens. So
excellent.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Badel, BC, you guys got anything before we start dancing out the door here?
No.
I'm sorry I was late, and I'm glad I made it, I guess. But
we'll change your mind. We'll have Ada Ace change your mind about that. That Ada.
There it is. All right, guys.
Hey, I've been in Cardano community for at least 5 years now, maybe 6 or 7, but I've always liked the community, and it's just like every time. Now, this is not financial advice, but every time I hear like other people, not saying ADA Ace, but when they start talking about layer 2, layer 3, staking, stable coins, this, that, and the other, it's like I feel the project that's on its rails is getting derailed because it's not focusing what it originally focused on, and the project is just derailing. It's like, I'm sorry,
See,
but that's why I said earlier that I don't know.
That to me is like a layer two.
After hearing
That's
this,
a
I'm
layer
ready to-
two mentality, Badel. You got to remember, this is the layer one. This is the train track. This is what the things run on. Well, that's what Cardano is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then they're going to change to layer 2, then layer 3, then layer 4. And what? Oh, because it betters the community? But what about the project?
Do you like Link?
I made a bunch of money off of Link. I've already made a bunch of money off of Cardano.
What?
I mean,
I'm just saying. Do you like the project? Do you like the project Link?
I haven't been involved in Link in about 3 years.
Okay. Well,
I only hold XRP, which I just sold half my bag.
This XRP Maxi over here talking crap on ADA.
yeah, exactly.
More Cardano than XRP. But I just sold half my bag of XRP.
Well, good job.
More Cardano than anything.
Good job realizing those gains.
There you go. Exactly. All right, everybody. I think that's it. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to dance our way out the door here. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Thanks for all the involvement in the chat. Appreciate everybody. Don't forget, next Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, the three of us are back. I don't know if the Ace will be here, but the three of us will be here. So, all right, we're heading out. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.